Hello and welcome back to another Kids Talk Sports video. Today, PD is joining us. So, hello, PD. Today we're going to be going over the Michigan versus Ohio State college basketball game. This was just a really fun game to watch. So yeah, let's just get into it. Do you want to start us off? Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that the game was very intriguing, very close, very enjoyable to watch. Well, it was enjoyable to watch if you weren't a fan of either teams, but
Yeah, it
it
was
was
just
like
nerve
I think,
wracking.
yeah, in the first half nobody could miss really, and even in the second half, really nobody could miss. I think both teams were like shooting over 50% or whatever, right? So like I don't understand how. I mean, the officiating was okay, I guess. But we
Mm,
just kept scoring and scoring and scoring. They kept scoring and scoring and scoring. Um, and it's and in the second half, they started missing a little more, but they were still hitting shots consistently or whatever. And Dickinson went off in the second half,
yeah,
16 points or whatever in the second half. So I think that we played Michigan. As for Michigan, we played really well on offense, but we have to work on our defense a little more. We can't just be allowing 87 points and hope to win. We can't be
yeah.
relying
But
consistently on 90 plus points.
here's the thing, though. I mean, when a team is hitting that many, like some of their shots were open, but I mean, a lot of those shots were just like I think they got both teams just seemed like we're on an on day. I haven't seen Michigan play that well offensively in a while. So
Yeah,
PD,
I know it's a good. I'm not saying that they are a good team. I'm saying they're a good team, but they're just like
yeah,
you just can't be allowing 87 points and hope to win. You have to improve on
yeah.
that.
All right, PD, your thoughts on the game as a whole?
Then again, if there's two teams that are like playing the best possible offense that they could be playing, because both teams were playing so incredibly efficiently that like if if the losing team puts up 87 points, that doesn't really necessarily like reflect on the defense, more of just all the contested shots were going down
Mhm.
and there wasn't really much that like the other team could do because both teams were playing extremely well, and it was honestly just a really fun game to watch,
Yeah.
even
All right.
if I was
Um,
just
yeah, I agree. That's what I was thinking because I mean this Washington guy,
At 30,
yeah,
I think,
Dwayne
yeah.
Washington or something. I mean, this guy was. It seemed like it. I guess it says 5 for 10 3 pointers, but it seemed like he was like 10 for like 15 or something.
yeah.
I mean, especially at the end of the game, he wouldn't miss. But yeah, I
I
mean,
was very scared of that EJ Liddell dude. That guy kept. He just stood down. He just stood down Dickinson and put up a jumper in his face and made it. He
yeah,
looked like Karl Malone in his prime. Like he just kept just shooting and driving and whatever. But I will say that one thing that we did have an advantage of is their center was 6'8". That's the tallest they had. Dickinson is 7'1" or
yeah.
whatever.
Just
That
I
was
mean,
a huge advantage.
just to show how big Dickinson has, he fell once, like trying to get his own rebound or something, and he knocked down 3 other guys. That was so funny. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, okay, so I think EY Brooks had a good showing also, and just to show you how much depth we Michigan has, I mean, Livers had 12, Wagner had 9, yet we still scored 92 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
But then Chandy Brown had best game of the best game of maybe his life so far, or
I'd
just
say
this
at
season. But
Michigan at least.
yeah, but he had a really good game. He actually, if I feel like when he plays, if he doesn't make the shot at first, he just slowly goes down because like his confidence is going down. But he hit those shots early, and I think that's what carried him throughout the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, second half, honestly, well, first off, I want to also talk about the refs. Okay, you said that they were okay. Honestly, it's
No, they were
I
kind of
mean, if they stay consistent, then it's fine. But like, there were some really bad calls and really bad not calls. For example, Eli Brooks, like looking at the replay. I know the refs. Well, I mean they can look at the replay. I think like you could see the clear like push off. Eli Brooks went flying like 5 feet on the ground, and they didn't call anything, and the guy ended up knocking down the three.
I
Then,
think,
like,
if that was a little bit
They
concealed, I
gave Eli a
understand where they're
technical.
coming from, but that hand went out. Like that
Yeah,
was just
like-
like boom.
He expended he just extended his full wingspan.
You can't extend the arm that far and not
Yeah.
get like
Yeah.
a no
I
call.
mean, and then like
It looked like an
Dickinson-
ankle breaker, which was very sad.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, it did, but
Dickinson-
he just shoved him.
Yeah. I mean, Dickinson got called for an offensive foul, and like he was just posting up like normal. Then the other guy does a no call.
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought there were a lot of like and stupid and ones, or like I don't think it was an and one, but they called them.
Mhm.
But then I guess another key point is our rebounding offensively. I mean, there was one time down the court where we got Chauncey Brown got like 10 rebounds in a row, which showed
Yeah.
two things. Our rebounding was incredible, and also that we were really cold right then. But
There wasn't that much rebounding to go with anyway, because everybody kept making the shots.
yeah, that's true.
True.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I honestly, the Dickinson is just insane. I think that's the biggest thing to take away is Dickinson. He'll probably go pro the way he's playing.
Yeah, I think he
I
has to
don't think he'll
develop a
go
jumper,
he'll
though.
one and done because in the current NBA, basically you need to shoot a 3-point shot
At least
to
a
be
mid
able
range.
to
Yeah, true.
yeah
And the other
to
thing,
be a big in the NBA.
I mean, the other thing he could see is like Moritz Wagner.
He's
Franz
probably a
Wagner's
first round
brother.
pick right
He
now.
left early, and then he like got benched, and like I don't know if he'll ever get another chance at starting.
I thought he
Yeah.
was a senior when he left.
Yeah, maybe. Well, point is that Dickinson, he might not get as many chances if he goes one and done, whereas if he could still go higher if he plays really well, and if we don't win a championship this year, then maybe he stays again. But yeah, anything else on this game? I mean,
Yeah, with the upcoming after this season, I think Livers is a senior, so he's gone. Eli Brooks is a
Livers is
senior,
gone,
he's
mhm.
gone. Mike Smith is a grad transfer, he's gone. Chauncey Brown was a
Chauncey is
grad
gone.
transfer, he's gone. So I think that's where the number one recruiting class comes in, and coaching too, because you have to coach those players into becoming what they're supposed to be, right?
mhm.
So
I think
you know,
Juwan and his coaching staff are very good. They've done a great job.
yeah, but PD, on the other side of that, it's like they'll probably start getting offers too, and they'll leave.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's early though. I think they want to win a championship though.
mhm. I
Like,
hope Dickinson stays so he can be with the number one recruiting
I
class.
think he very much will because back to what I said, if I were him, although you could very well get drafted, but honestly, I would stay at least one more year because to develop more. Because he has so much potential, and if he could get a 3-point shot and just get a bit more quickness, like out to perimeter, then I think he could be a very good NBA player. He just needs to get a bit more developed.
I think the other side of that though is what if he gets injured?
yeah, true.
Yeah, it's true.
But
But
I
then
mean,
again, if
anyone
you
can get injured. That's the other thing.
yeah,
one-
that's
Right.
the thing. If you're
But if he gets injured, then you don't have much to show for, and nobody would want to get you. But that I think that I like what Juwan Howard is doing here, building that culture, kind of bringing back Fab Five culture when he was here
Mhm.
with Chris Webber and Jalen Rose. I like what he's doing at Michigan because everybody's playing well. He has a new recruiting class coming in next year, and everybody's playing well right now in general as a team, efficiently, and they're playing. It seems like they have a really good chemistry going on, and he also built this really good coaching staff. And it's hard to replace a guy like John Beeline with all those expectations because he was John Beilein was consistent too. Like he, at least went late when before he left, he would usually prove everybody wrong, that people wouldn't rank us in the first place. He would just prove them wrong, make us top 10, top 5. And it's kind of hard to replace that. But Juwan Howard was like, okay, I see how it is. And then he just, I don't know, maybe made him better than what John Beilein brought us here, at least so far. So, I think
we're doing John Beilein a bit dirty though, because he did take us to 2 national championship games.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's the thing.
This is definitely one of the best teams in recent memory.
Yeah, but we still have to see how we finish the season, because going into the tournament, it's all about momentum.
Mhm.
And the other thing is, another thing Juwan Howard, I think, has done a really good job of is depth. Like we were saying earlier, but like Chaundi Brown off the bench, 15 points last game against the number 4 team. Austin Davis didn't play that well yesterday, but he can still play pretty well. Not as good as Dickinson, obviously. But overall, our depth is like on our all starting 5. Like everyone, you wouldn't be surprised if any of these people on the starting 5 scored 20. And like if one of them doesn't do well, all the rest do well. So, yeah, what round do you think Livers will be drafted in?
If you're asking me what he's worth, I'd say late first round. If you're asking me where he'll be going, I'd say middle of the second round, because he is a team player. He's not like, oh, I'll do this all by myself or whatever.
Yes.
Like some of the star players are. Like when Trae Young was drafted out of the draft, he just scored every single point, just shooting and shooting and shooting. But when Livers, like right now, he plays for the team. He doesn't play for himself. He plays for the team. And I know Wagner kind of like that too. He just tries to help the team win. Maybe not as much as Livers, but they're still projecting Wagner to go first round, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's because Wagner is showing a ton of potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Petey, where do you think Livers will go?
Honestly, I don't. It really depends how the rest of the season plays out, because Livers he's a very good player, but it's more of just the NBA currently. It's just the drafts are more of just whoever is scoring the most. That's who you're going to draft. Because basically,
and it looks like
it's also whoever has like the most potential. Whoever that's why a lot of one and dones just like get drafted really high, because they show a lot of potential in their just basketball ability.
Yeah,
I think he'll go.
Go ahead.
I kind of agree with Albe. He'll go late first round or second round. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also think that like right now, I think the mock draft for number 1 is Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State, and if he leaves, he's a one and done too. So, I think that with this NBA draft and these upcoming players that leave, I like all of them, but it's like if you look at maybe like a Nick Saban on college football, Alabama players don't do as well as they do in college, because that's a big step, right? So it's also like how you do well in the combine, and if you do really well in the college basketball, then you have a high potential of going first round or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think, honestly, depends on how the rest of the year goes, I think. But, I mean, anything else about the game before we go to the preview of Iowa game?
Yeah, I think we have like a 2-game lead over Illinois for the Big Ten regular season championship. So if we are, obviously the goal is to win, but obviously if you win a lot, then you're going to get that championship. But you have you have to win. I think we have Iowa and Illinois, and maybe I think Michigan State or maybe in Indiana. So 4 games left.
Michigan State. Okay. We have to, for Michigan can win, they have to lose 2 of 4 for anyone else to win.
It's 2 of 5. I believe we have Michigan State 2 times in a row at the end.
I'd love to see that one. Glory.
Yeah, so Michigan State twice in a row. I think we can definitely. Iowa's going to be the toughest, honestly. I think Illinois is not really ranked 5. They're just ranked 5 because
I think Illinois is a good team.
I think they're good,
I
but
like
5
them.
is a
I think
I
they're top 10. I don't know if they're necessarily 5 though.
They're
Yeah.
actually number 5, but I think they're better than Illinois.
that's
I mean,
what I think.
Ohio State. My bad,
Oh.
but I think they're better than Ohio State. They
Yeah.
have really speedy point guards, and I think they have a good center too. It kind of reminds me of Maryland from last year. They had that Cowan dude or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think they look really good, but I think they lost to Ohio State earlier this season, which is why I think they're behind Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. So like we said, the schedule. Indiana, if we don't win that, then bruh. Michigan State, hopefully we win both those. And then if you lose
That's a
Iowa.
rivalry game. I would be very careful there.
yeah, I guess. But
Mhm.
Illinois,
Michigan, Michigan State.
Illinois, that one's where that one could be really tough. And same with this Iowa one. Especially there, I mean, coming off a top 4 team win, Ohio State, it could be good and it could be bad. It's probably better because our confidence should be pretty high, and I think we're playing at
Confidence.
some of the best level we've been playing the whole year.
Mhm.
So overall, I think this Iowa game is going to be really good. Luca Garza is insane, averaging 24.7 points. Yeah,
I
PD, what do
wonder
you?
where he is on the NBA mock draft actually.
I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't be first. He just seems like the ideal for the NBA.
I don't
It's true.
understand how.
But
Oh yeah, go ahead.
he might not go number 1 because he's a senior, so he's aged, so he won't have as much time in development actually. But I honestly still think he's a very good player, and that's
Yeah.
basically the current NBA drafts are more of just you're drafting young players that have lots of potential to be very good, and I think
Yeah,
Garza is still going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, Garza. I mean, what he's done, his shooting, he's pretty big, right? Let's see, he's 6'11", so like a center basically, and he can shoot like 50% almost from 3, and I mean he can do everything. It looks like so. Against Michigan, you just got to cover that guy. And this is another point. Honestly, I don't know who we should put on him. What do you guys think? Who do you think we should put on Garza?
If you're asking me, I think we go. I think we start Austin Davis. He seems like the more physical guy. And first, Garza will probably be tired if he stays in the game if Dickinson came in. And obviously if Davis doesn't do well, you put Dickinson in the game.
Mhm.
But I think like if you think about it, I think they're both very old school players, Austin Davis and Hunter Dickinson. But I think Austin Davis is just the more physical one. But if he's not doing well, you can put Dickinson in. This is what they did earlier in the season. So everybody's tired. Hunter Dickinson comes in and he scores a bunch of points because everybody's tired.
Mhm.
And it's like kind of like your X factor or like your trump card or whatever. So I guess that's what you could do. I don't know if you put Livers on him because Garza is huge. He's tall
Yeah,
and
that's
huge.
the thing. Yeah, he's like as big as Dickinson, basically.
Yeah,
Dickinson.
I think he's like 7 foot or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Garza 6'11". Isn't Dickinson like 7'1" or something?
Yeah.
He's 7-1.
PD, who do you think?
I honestly, it's kind of tough because if you want a good size matchup, then you definitely put Austin Davis or Hunter Dickinson on him. But Luka Garza is a very athletic player, and he's quick, very quick for a big man.
Mhm.
And I would honestly put Livers on him, to be honest, because Livers is much more athletic than Hunter Dickinson or Austin Davis. There would be a bit of like a size disadvantage, but then again, if you want to match him in athleticism, because then he gets out to shoot threes a lot, and Hunter Dickinson has shown that he's not necessarily the best perimeter defender, and he's like a bit too slow to get out to
Yeah.
the perimeter. I mean, if he were to guard him there, like at the perimeter, Garza could definitely just drive past him. So I would honestly just put Livers on.
Yeah, I mean they could switch them a bunch, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could like switch it up a little bit and give him a little confused, or you could suggest that you play zone.
yeah,
Because
that's what I was
when
thinking.
we're playing zone, you have the point guards on top, right? So they'll be a little more athletic, and you have Dickinson and Livers back, so you can make that work because they were playing zone yesterday or Sunday if you're watching this a little later. So I think that could definitely be an option. But I do think that Iowa has also more shooters. I think they have like a couple more shooters, like 2 or 3 or something. So that could also be a problem too.
Yeah. So honestly, overall, this game's going to be really close, probably just like Ohio State game. I hope that we can play better defense, where Iowa just can't hit as many shots, because that Ohio State game was crazy to watch. Yeah. Honestly, anything else to say before we finish the video?
I think another advantage we have is it's in Arbor. It's at Chrysler Center. So that's probably an advantage. So
Then again, that isn't more as then again as that's in the current environment with the pandemic, being home isn't necessarily as much of a
you still
an
have to
advantage.
travel though. So that's what
It's true. It definitely is an advantage, but it's not like as heavy as it would be.
I'm
person.
talking about the traveling part because you have to
Yeah,
travel
it's true.
from Iowa to Michigan. So that's
Yeah. So okay, that's it for this video, and thank
Go
you,
Blue.
Petey, for joining us. Yeah, and thanks for watching.